Hello guys, Shahzad Rabbani again. This video is about a trade setup of Euro GBP. I would apply it on the daily chart. Remember, I won't use any indicator except only the trend line in just order to identify myself, in order to ensure myself where the market is going and if I enter, on what basis I have to enter, right? Remember, this trading setup would be applicable right from trading session starts from 27th of February 2017 onward. Before having discussions, let's have a risk disclosure and warning statement from my side. This video is only for educational purposes. Foreign exchange trading carrying marginal or substantial risk, therefore it is suitable for every investor. Okay, this is the live chart of Euro GBP. As you can see, from here to here, there was a sell trend, and probably the sell trend is going on. Why I've said this, the sell trend is going on, because I've seen, the market has made a pattern in retrospective of lower high, lower low, right? Just assume it, this is the high, this is the low, right? So I can call it the low, right? This is the high, but this high didn't break this high, so I can call it the lower high, right? Again, the lower low. Why it is lower low? Because it has broken this previous low, right? Again, the lower high. Why I called it lower high? Because it didn't break this high, right? So you can see a pattern of lower high and lower low, right, on a bear market. So my recommendations are, the technical perspective of this particular currency or this particular pair is obviously to sell. When I have to sell it, obviously I have to jump in where my technical analysis presumed or seemed to me a good risk reward ratio, right? Remember guys, this is not a holy grail. So after applying the systems, you'll be, one would say that you don't need anything just to stay in the trade, right, without having any risk. You are basically in a business where you owe some risk, right? So my aim and my job and my duty is to aware some of the facts which are presumably and apparently a established fact, right? I don't concern about the fundamentals. As recently I have just seen, rather somebody has paid attention of mine towards it, that the US data is in negative and the anti-dollar trades, anti-dollar commodities are currencies are going up. I don't concern it. But I just see a live chart, a live swings which has happened, which didn't alter, unlike the other, indicators. I don't want to involve or jump into this sort of conversations. Let's come to the point. Okay, I'm now gonna sell of this market, but firstly, before the sell it, I have to determine my risk, right? So in order to determine my risk, I have to put a trend line, and the trend line should be gonna downward. It should be on a downward, and it should apply the major swings high points, right? The upper of candles, right? As you can see, this is the high, the low, the lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So this is the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, if you even reverse and look left, right? So I just see to identify myself or to assure myself that a trend line which is having two combined points is a very powerful trend line. So I'm gonna just draw this trend line and connect these two upper points, right? This is the major swing high, right? Lower high. This is the lower high, right? So this is my defensive mechanism. This is my defensive, one would say, trend lines. As long as this trend lines won't break, I would be on a sell, right? But for this, for taking entries, I don't rely only on this, because I don't just presume that this would be the final point, right? It may be breach these levels, but I just obey myself and do trade what the major participants, what the like big institutions, like big individual traders do, right? And their appearance just in front of me in shape of this particular chart, only the chart, right? So the chart is basically has told me and unleashed every story, is what's going on, what's the sentiments of the market at this times, rather than the fundamentals, so that I feel really relaxed, because I don't concern on the particular times, and on this particular times you must have to in front of your trading desk, and you have to have your all tools. Sometimes a market run accordingly, I mean according to the fundamentals, sometimes not. If so I'm not followers of fundamentals, right? But on the other hand, I am followers of the chart, right? And usually, believe it or not, actually the chart basically gives me at least 90% predictions in the right way, right? So come to this point, this is the defensive trend line for me. As long as this trend lines have a resistance, I would be on a sell, right? As I can see previously, this is the swing, right? This is the major trend is down, right? This is the uptrend, but on for only 4 or 5 days, right? As you can see, 1 2 3 4 days, right? So this may be called a micro trend, right? So I need to end to jump into this market when this micro trend comes to an end. How I can determine it, or how I could know if I apply it on retrospectively, I'm just draw the trend line, that angle is on the upsides, and I connect from the bottoms, right? Just to say, connect these 2 points, right? So this is the upward trend line. Whenever it breaks, as you can see at this point it breaks. So originally I was on the sell when this trend line, this trend line has broken, and my stop loss obviously the previous swing high, right, at this point. Now I'm presuming that market is retesting of this trend line, a retesting of these levels, right? But it should not be up from this level, right, at 0.8594, because this is the previous major swing high, right? And I'm expecting a pattern of lower high, lower low, right, like this: lower low, lower high, lower low. Now I assume that lower high has posted or somewhere on this particular point, right, on this particular point. Now after this, I'm expecting to have a lower low. That lower low should be low of this particular point, of this candle's low, right? That should be broken to this candle's low, right? So that my lower high and lower low pattern would be completed. All right, guys, this is one of the scenario of the trade. If you even retrospectively see what's happened over here, or from this to this point, so, the major downtrend, micro trend. By the end of micro trend, if you just connect these lines, these trend lines, as you can see on this point, it is broken, right? And this is continuations. At this point, the price rejections, and again the lower high, but again this particular trend lines obeyed, right? One would say that this is not the candles, right? We cannot assume it this particular way, this particular trend lines upper side, because majorly trade constitutes over there. But I don't concern it. I just need the top when I connect the trend lines from the lower side, right, and the bottom, when I connect the trend lines on an upper side, right? So here is my entry for sell. If I were previously see, the February, the previous days of February, the initial days of February, the starting days of February, right? So this is my trade. At this time I'm expecting that the market is touching the upper levels now. I expect that it has touched now, but even if tomorrow's are other trading days, or this trading days, the remaining trading hours, if it is going to touch on this levels, right, or perhaps on this levels, but it should not be up or stay from this particular candle's highs, right? So my trade of Euro GBP, sell this pair on a level of, right, at 0.8543, stop loss at 0.8606. Now I'm seeing my target. The ideal target should be around somewhere, right, around somewhere at 0.8328. So this is my trade. If you have any question or query, please don't hesitate, just write down in the comments section, and if you like my video, please do subscribe. Thank you very much.